right, I'm going to take some more of your calls, then play a little bit of this video. It's 10 minutes long. It's all up on prisonplanet.com if you want to see the whole thing. Nigel Farage talking about how they're ordering him to not criticize Herman Van Rompuy, violating his free speech. Herman Van Rompuy is unelected. The bureaucrats put him in as the head of the EU, but then the elected parliament from the nations has no authority or power. And England never voted to be under this. They're just expanding it. And every country that gets to vote on it, like France, votes to get out, but then the bureaucrats won't let them get out. So that is coming up amongst some other important news. Right now, let's go ahead and talk to Roger in Georgia. Roger, you're on the air.
Hey, Alex, I just wanted to call and thank you for always being spot on. I really enjoyed your interview with Shooter Jennings. Didn't realize he was Waylon's son. The reason that I'm calling is I just wanted to tell you about our local newspaper here, the Cherokee Ledger News. You know, rather than talking about the fact that teachers are getting pay cuts of 5% next year, furloughed, and the economy's terrible, they're excited to let everybody know that the force is with our police department. We're getting new Bearcat armored vehicles, and they're going to be sent out on all domestic violence calls, 90% of police calls, and these nice vehicles are going to have blue lights in them. So when they come to your house...
armored tanks rolling around just everywhere because we're the enemy. The government is building up to wage war against the people.
Absolutely. I don't have to take my kid to the D-Day Museum or build, toy tanks with him at home to get him to learn about military equipment because it's going to be in his neighborhood just like communist Russia during the Cold War.
I mean, look, by every yardstick, we are becoming a mega tyranny. Go ahead.
Absolutely. But, yeah, I just wanted to, one more comment I want to say again. I really enjoyed, Stephen King's lead in to Shooter Jennings, and I thought a good idea for you is to put together Alex Jones' top 20 hits because I just love the music you play during the interims and maybe have your little commentary with each song that you play, and I just wanted to share that with you because I just think you're awesome. You're doing a great thing. You really woke me up about a year ago, and I'm bringing some family members on board that would have never believed what's going on, but now that I can show them locally in the paper and stuff what you're talking about, it brings the needle to the head, so to speak. So,
well, sir, I appreciate your call, and I love the great point you make about like we're communist Russia or something. I mean, it's just the whole world saying we're like communist Russia. I mean, this is, but again, the Black Mask, the tanks, the wheeled vehicles, the armored vehicles, the APCs, the LAVs, it is all to intimidate us. If it really goes into martial law, those things aren't going to do anything for them. Tyrants go to bars. Tyrants live at home. Tyrants are out on the street. If they've ever gotten to a physical conflict, which I don't want to happen, their APCs will become our APCs. I mean, don't you understand? You could have no weapons and take back your country with a baseball bat. You can get all the guns you ever wanted with a baseball bat or a ball-peen hammer or a sword. You can get all the weapons, all the APCs if you've got the will. But again, we want to fix it. We want to reach out to police and military. Go to talk to them in your town. Discuss with them what's happening. Most of these cops aren't bad. Okay, let's go to another caller. Let's talk to Bill in North Carolina. Bill, you're on the air.
Hey, Alex. How you doing today?
Good.
Good. Hey, Alex, first off, I want to thank you for waking me up about 2 years ago. I want to just add on to a conversation that you were having with Brad Martin on the user-consumer side of the airsoft. Right after Christmas, after a bunch of kids in my neighborhood got the airsoft guns, we went out to my boss's property where we have a building but also some wooded area. And it's all paid for. We own it. And we had about 17 kids out there with airsoft rifles aging from probably, 4 years old all the way on up, and a bunch of little tiny 4-foot kids with helmets on. And within minutes, we had 9 sheriff cars show up. They corridored the both sides of the road.
Yeah, well, I mean, hold on and tell your story. Tell your story. But I see in the news about every week or two, I've had friends. I have some Iraq war vet friends who were out at their own cousin's farm in a rural area of the state, and they were having an airsoft battle, and even their neighbors called the police on them, and they confiscated the airsoft. So people aren't allowed to have fun because the public is so brainwashed that if they see people running around, shooting toy guns at each other. So what happened? You're on your own property. You're out there. You got people having a good time. What happened?
Well, the first thing is I was in the woods, and I came out with the woods, and I'm prime military. I came out with my weapon down on the ground and my hands on my head, and we go up to the main man, and we're like, hey, look, we own this. And he's like, well, let me see the guns. And it's like, dude, they're fake. You know, can you see the orange on them, you know? So we took the casing off, and we showed him the BBs inside of it. And after arguing with him for about 15 minutes, they finally agreed to leave. But
wait a minute. Oh, so when they knew it was a plastic toy gun, people aren't really familiar with airsoft. It's like paintball. You were still bad. See, because if they come, you're bad. You're a slave with even a toy gun. That doesn't look good to a parasite.
Oh, absolutely. And the worst part about it is, we've got all these scared kids there, and they said, well, you kids are running into the other buildings holding, going up to people with weapons. And it's like, no, we're not. We're sitting on our own private property.
This is about teaching the kids. No, you're not going to be involved in a Second Amendment culture. That's why they have these drills from Texas to Minnesota, from California to New York. Every state I've seen articles. I put it in some of my films where the police unannounced come in, point real guns at kids' heads. In one case in Dallas, they killed Cop of the Year, just so happened. At one, on video in Detroit, the cop shoots himself. And they scream and yell, I'm going to kill you. I'm a militia who's against public school. To demonize and brainwash, that's trauma-based mind control to demonize the Second Amendment. So after 15 minutes, I mean, did the cops apologize, or did they say, no, we can't wait for the day to even take your toy gun, punk?
No, they had no sense of humor. They were severely upset, and it was crazy. If I could add one more thing on too, Alex, for everybody out there that's just learned about Alex, if you purchase a Don't Tread on Me or an InfoWars T-shirt and you wear that in your neighborhood, you will find like-minded people and you will congregate. And for all those people that don't know about it, you'll start to find other people like you.
Well, thank you. I think you should go to the police station, and I think you should go to city council and make a big deal out of this because they need to know. I understand they heard there was a big shootout, but any idiot could pull up and hear gunshots aren't going off. But once it was a false alarm, that's why I love open carry. We've got to start putting our guns back in our pickup trucks. We've got to start having them out in the open and saying, no, we're Americans. You're not intimidating us into destroying our right to even play with toy guns. I appreciate your call. See, folks, they're in the big lobby out there to protect toy guns, so they're coming after the toy guns. And yeah, when I get up on air, here it is, and I say that when you buy a $9.95, these cost us like $5. I think, $5.50 or something? This is a nice hat. That when you buy the Tyranny Response Team or Come and Take It hats or InfoWars hats or T-shirts, I mean, you wear, especially the T-shirts because they're bigger, people can see it from further away. I mean, you start wearing this around your town or the city council or wherever you see people or walking your dog, you're going to meet like-minded patriots. We have listeners everywhere. And so you support us, a little bit of money in the hat for the big operation we're building here and all that we do, but you also get great, good-looking Patriot apparel, and you meet like-minded people, ladies and gentlemen. So check out all the dozens and dozens of T-shirts, hats, and materials, and every order gets a free pocket Constitution with it and an Infowars.com, PrisonPlanet.com bumper stickers, which really upsets the establishment. Okay, you don't have to put it on your car. You can put it up where other people can see it. Let's go ahead and take another call. I got to move quick now. Who's up next here? Derek in South Carolina. You're on the air.
Alex, how you doing?
Good.
Good. Yeah, I just wanted to give you a heads up. I was driving around this morning and listening to Glenn Beck rant about his Mormon doctrine, and he went on and on about how he believes the Constitution is inspired, literally inspired of God, right? And which I just wanted to give you guys a heads up. It's, it sounds innocent enough, even though it's foolish, but Mormon eschatology teaches that there's going to be a great Mormon leader to rise up, take control of America, and form a Mormon theocracy of sorts.
Well, I know this. I'm not an expert on Mormons, but I know that they try to approach the best and brightest. When my dad, had like one of the top grade averages at UT, and had just married my mother. They not just Mormons at the door. They sent like the high muckety mucks from Austin, to come say, you really got to join. We'll really help you and everything. And I know and my dad was like, no, thanks. I know there are a lot of Mormons who are big supporters, anti-New World Order, big Ron Paul supporters. Then you get people like Orrin Hatch and Mitt Romney that are Republican in name only. And I don't get into all the infighting of different, groups and sects and religions. But I have read that there's this big Mormon leader coming, and I certainly hope it's not Glenn Beck or Mitt Romney. I appreciate your call, because the fruits of these guys is really, really bad news. And I would also add to that, in fact, I have the transcript of it. I printed it today. Maybe I'll try to dig it out during the next break, but